please advise how to, yeah, so basically how can we go about asking and getting feedback? Like what do you have any tips and tricks on how to kind of make sure that we at least do get some feedback? Because I've applied in the past and you get radio silence, right? Do you have
Yeah.
any advice on how the best approach to ask and receive feedback?
Yeah, so I mean, it really depends. It can be as simple as just popping across an email, or asking if whoever's given you that update, whether they've got time for a quick kind of 5 minutes. Sometimes that works better, and sometimes organizations are kind of happy to talk about feedback on the phone, but sometimes they have particular rules around what feedback they can put in writing for whatever legal reason.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
So a lot of the time organizations will be like, they'll come back and say like, just unfortunately we weren't able to progress with your application, and that's kind of all the feedback you'll get. But yeah, if you just ask, I would always recommend either email or emailing and just ask for feedback, see if there's any particular feedback, or email and say, hey, do you have time for 5 minutes? Just want to get some feedback on my application. Like I say, not all organizations are either going to be willing to offer feedback or are going to be able to offer feedback.
Interesting. And what about I've seen this on social media a few times. What about asking it at the end of an interview? Have you ever had anyone do that? Do you recommend doing that?
Yeah, so I don't particularly mind if people do that at the recruiter screening. So that's what I would say my kind of initial interview is a quick conversation with me. I don't particularly mind that. In terms, I don't know whether I would recommend it. But I don't have any particular reason for kind of why not. I'm more thinking from the perspective of, sometimes you're interviewing with technical people, and so say you're doing a technical interview, for example, and then you get to the end, and maybe some feedback on where you struggled a little bit or where you could learn to do better, for sure. But I think if you start asking other bits of feedback, they might panic a little bit, because they're interviewing you for a technical exercise, and they're not really supposed to go out with that, and they might not really know how to answer those questions correctly. So I wouldn't want to dissuade anyone from doing that, but part of me is like, I don't know how certain interviewers would respond to that request, or whether they'd be able to do it justice, or how they would feel about it as well. Which, I mean, they shouldn't have an opinion, but they might be like, oh, panic.
Yeah, but put them on the spot a little bit.